And welcome to this brand new section. In this section, we want to begin creating our weather application. In the last section, we created a sample application to display country lists using a third-party API. With this our weather app, we are going to also use a third-party API. I showed you in the last section the different ways we can create an Ionic applications. And we can either use the blank templates, we can either use or the tabs or side menu templates. Now, before we create the project, let's visit ionicframework.com, which is the main page for the Ionic framework. So visit ionicframework.com. Now, on this page, we are going to click on developers. Then the drop down will see setup and installation. In the last section, we saw a bit about this setup and installation, but I'll click here. We can go through it so we can see how to create the side menu application. We already installed Cordova and Ionic. We are using the latest versions as of this video. When we create the project, we are going to see the versions of Ionic and Cordova. Then if we go down to create a new project or new application in Ionic, we use the command Ionic start, then the name of the application with the templates. You can either use the tabs templates or the blank templates, or you can use the side menu templates. In this course, we are going to be using the side menu templates. Now, to get started with this, let's open up the terminal and navigate to where you want to save your project. For me, I have a folder called Node and I have a subfolder called Mobile. Inside the folder, that is where I'm going to create my own project. Now, because we are going to be using the side menu, now what you can do, you can create or use the blank templates. Then from the blank templates, you can add your own side menu. But we are just going to use the templates that comes with Ionic for the side templates or the side menu. So to do that, we type Ionic, then start, then the name of the application. So mine is Weather Ionic. You can give it any name. Later we can customize it or change the name. But for now, the name of the project is called Weather Ionic. So I'll call it Weather Ionic. Then I'll give it the template, and the template is going to be side menu. So now, if you want to use the tab templates, so this is going to be Ionic start, Weather Ionic tabs. If you want to use the blank template, Ionic start, Weather Ionic, then blank. But here we're using the side menu template. So I'll hit enter. Now this is going to take some time. When this completes, we'll continue with the video. So for now, let me just pause it. So right now, the creation of the project is complete. What I'll do next is to open it inside Visual Studio Code. First, let me clear the terminal. So I'll clear the terminal. Now to open the project inside Visual Studio Code, I'll type code, then dots. Now you can use any other IDE you want or you choose to. For me, I'll be using the Visual Studio Code. So I'll type code, then dots to open up the project inside VS Code. So wait for it to open the project. So right now you can see the project inside VS Code. As usual, as I explained in the last section, we have these different files and folders. This is the root folder, which is the Weather Ionic. Then we have the node_modules folders, which contains all the npm packages that are used in the project. If you open the node folder, you're going to see folders for Angular. You're going to see folders for Ionic and Ionic natives as well. Then some types folder. Then we have some other folders which contains some other npm packages. We're not going to go into this. Then we have the resources folders. This is where we're going to add our icons and our splash screens. For this application, we are going to be targeting the Android platform. because right now I'm recording this course on a Windows machine, so I'll be targeting the Android platform. If you are on a Mac, then you can target the iOS platform. Then we have the source. This is where we are going to do most of our work, and we're going to write most or all of our codes. Now inside the source folder, we have the app folder. Now this is like the entry point to our application. The app.components, app.html, these are the files that are loaded first when our application starts. Then we have the assets. Here we can add our images. Then the pages, these are the files that will contain the codes to be displayed on the page or on the application. Then we have our themes. Inside the theme, we have the variables.scss. Now here we're going to write some SCSS codes. We are not going to look into this at the moment. Then we have the index.html, which is the entry file. Then we also have some other files like the editor config, it's the configuration file, the git ignore, then the config.xml. Now this file is peculiar to Cordova. Now when we want to maybe deploy our application or publish our application, we can come right here, change this ID to something unique, because we are going to use it if we want to publish this application to the App Store. We can change the name, also change the description. Now every Cordova plugins that will be added to the project will be added into or inside this config.xml file. So if we come down here, you can see the ones that were added while we created the project. We have the Ionic plugin keyboard, Cordova plugin whitelist. We have the device, the splash screen, and the web view. Now, if we add other Cordova plugins, they will be added into this config.xml file. Then we also have the Ionic config.json. This just will contain metadata for the Ionic project. Then package lock.json, package.json, then TypeScript configuration file, then the tslink.json file. So these are the files and folders that were created when you run the Ionic start, then the name of the project with the side menu. Now in the next video, we are going to continue working on the project.